So Donald Trump just tweeted that he's feeling great, that the coronavirus has been a real pick-me-up for him, that he feels better than he's felt in 20 years. Let's talk about that. Because respect for the hundreds of thousands of Americans who succumbed to the coronavirus, respect for their grieving families, and respect for the tens of thousands of people who are struggling with the virus as we speak, respect, like justice, matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So as I was preparing to record this video, Donald Trump just tweeted. He tweeted that he's being released from the hospital, he's feeling great. In fact, he feels 20 years younger, and nobody should worry about the coronavirus. I'm going to address that tweet at the end of this video, and I'm going to try not to lose my temper. We'll see how that goes. But let me start by saying that I don't believe anything that the White House alternate facts crew tells us, right? From the moment they tried to sell to us that Donald Trump had tested positive for the coronavirus, I'd been saying, please just give us one trusted public health official. Somebody credible, somebody whose word we can rely on. And if they say Trump's tested positive, I think we're all prepared to believe it. But I don't want to hear it from the alternate facts crew. I don't want to hear it from Kayleigh McEnany or Kellyanne Conway or Mark Meadows or Rudy Giuliani or Vladimir Putin, right, who wrote a beautiful get well letter to Donald Trump praising his, quote, innate vitality, good spirits, and optimism, close quote. That's the word we all associate with Donald Trump, right? Optimism, right? He's our daily dose of sunshine. All along I've been saying, can we please just have somebody credible, trustworthy, like Dr. Anthony Fauci, tell us, in fact, Donald Trump is positive? Well, Dr. Fauci has weighed in. And he weighed in with no comment. No comment? No comment is something you say when you can't say anything good. No comment is something you say when you can't say anything to reassure the American people that what we are being told about Donald Trump is truthful and accurate. No comment. Here's how that was reported today. The CNN headline, quote, Fauci says he has not been involved in Trump's care. The article reads in part, Dr. Anthony Fauci, the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, told CNN this morning that he has not been involved in the care of President Trump and declined to comment on the status of his condition. Quote, I have not been involved. But again, I don't want to get into talking about the president's case because that's not something that I really have been cleared to talk about. But personally, I have not been involved in the direct care of the president, Fauci said. So if we're looking at data points to try to figure out the true status of Donald Trump, I would put Dr. Fauci's no comment in the something's fishy column. What other data points do we have? Well, we have yesterday's, trip around the park. They loaded Donald Trump into the presidential limo so he could be driven around the park and wave at his supporters. Think about this. If Donald Trump is actually infected with the coronavirus, what did they do? They put him in a tightly enclosed space. No social distancing possible inside a vehicle. They put him in there with multiple Secret Service agents. Those agents were at imminent risk to become infected themselves if Donald Trump was truly infected. But to Donald Trump, what's a handful of infected Secret Service agents, when he wants to ride around the park and wave at his supporters? I would put that data point in the something's fishy column. What other data points do we have? Well, we have an incredible press conference being given by the White House physician, Dr. Conley. When Dr. Conley was pressed by the media about some inconsistent statements he had made, here is how Dr. Conley responded. I'm going to quote his words verbatim. Quote, "I didn't want to give any information that might steer the course of the illness in another direction, and in doing so, it came off that we were trying to hide something which wasn't necessarily true." Okay, first of all, Doc, whatever you say or don't say, I promise you, it will not steer the illness in a different direction. The illness doesn't care what you have to say about it or about Donald Trump's circumstances. The illness is going to do what the illness is going to do. So that was nonsensical. That was babble. And then after that, he said, well, I thought that maybe the way it came off, people would think we were trying to hide something which wasn't necessarily true. So it wasn't necessarily true that you were trying to hide something, but it could have kind of sort of been true that you were trying to hide something. You got to take everything Dr. Conley says and put it in the something is fishy column. And then worst of all, folks, just a little while ago, Donald Trump tweeted. Here's what he said. I'm sure you've seen it by now. Quote, "I will be leaving the great Walter Reed Medical Center today at 6:30 p.m. feeling really good. Don't be afraid of COVID. Don't let it dominate your life. We have developed, under the Trump administration, some really great drugs and knowledge. I feel better than I did 20 years ago. Don't let it dominate your life." I guess a narcissist doesn't understand how that statement lands with the families of more than 200,000 dead Americans. Don't let it dominate your life. I feel better than ever. How hurtful, how demeaning, how heartless, how callous is that tweet to the Americans who succumbed to the coronavirus, to their surviving, grieving family members, to the thousands and thousands of people who are struggling with it right now, hospitalized, on ventilators, clinging to life. Don't let it dominate your life. Not a big deal. I feel great. How does it land with the people who spent weeks or months fighting the virus and never recovered fully, are still suffering the consequences, the aftermath of the virus? He says he beat it in a matter of 3 or 4 days. He feels great. In fact, he feels 20 years younger. Folks, he's taking a page right out of the dictator's playbook, faking an illness and then saying, "I, your dear leader, am superhuman. You may struggle, you may die, you may take weeks or months to recover. I knocked it out in a few days." Folks, this is nothing but another big con, and there's only one thing left to do. Vote him out in numbers too big to rig and too real to steal. And then, in January, investigate, indict, try, convict, and imprison. Fairly, ethically, apolitically. But Donald Trump needs to land in the orange jumpsuit he has so richly earned. Please don't listen to Donald Trump, because it will not make you feel 20 years younger. It will ravage you, it will devastate you, it will hospitalize you, and as we know, it may kill you. Please stay safe, folks. Please stay safe. And I look forward to talking with you all tomorrow.